Hey now! What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and I am here to talk about and review what, in my opinion, is the greatest Spider-Man movie that's ever been made to date. Spider-Man 2, the original Spider-Man 2. This is a 2004 film that was once again directed by Sam Raimi, and the plot is we see Tobey Maguire back as Peter Parker where he last left off. He gave up a potential relationship with Mary Jane to be Spider-Man. You see him struggling between jobs, struggling with his college school career. It's tough. It's tough to juggle normal life and Spider-Man life. And one day he decides he's not going to be Spider-Man anymore. Spider-Man no more. But of course, once he does that, Dr. Octopus has arrived, and he is not only causing chaos in New York City, but he has kidnapped his love, Mary Jane. This forces Spider-Man to come out of retirement and go up against Doc Ock. Now, what I think of Spider-Man 2, I already said it. It's my favorite Spider-Man movie that's ever been made for so many reasons. But I love everything about this. Let's talk about some of the other Spider-Man movies. I'm not going to spend too much time about that. But pretty much every Spider-Man movie after this has tried to shove too much in there. Tried to shove multiple villains and just too much storyline, just too much craziness. This is like the last Spider-Man movie that really focused on what the movie was about. Really delved into what it's like to be Peter Parker. I mean, sure, when I think of Peter Parker, I think of a 16-year-old high school kid who's in way over his head, a little immature, and makes a bunch of mistakes. But the fact that we did skip ahead in the first movie to him being in college. So this movie, yeah, he is in college. He still has those qualities. He still has those characteristics of being too in over his head, of trying to take on too much at once and just messing up, and that's where you relate to the guy. Seeing him live in that crappy apartment with that landlord, Mr. Dinklage, and his sweet daughter, just those scenes where you look at him and his stupid doorknob and just nothing quite goes right. And even the scenes where it's psychosomatical, it's him in his own head with his powers not working. I know some people are like, that doesn't even make any sense. His power shouldn't coincide with him having too much on his mind or whatnot. But I still liked what Sam Raimi was going for. I still liked just the idea that Spider-Man, it's tough. It's hard to be a hero. It's hard to do this. And that scene where you see him visually talk to Uncle Ben and tell him, I can't do this anymore. I tried. I wanted to make you proud. I wanted to make you happy, but I'm not happy. And that's just, it's that double-edged sword of being a hero and what you have to sacrifice for that. The scenes of him and Mary Jane, once again played by Kirsten Dunst, who, once again, I like her. She has moments of being, I don't want to say annoying, because look, she doesn't know that he's Spider-Man. Although I think, or I could have sworn that when she kissed him at the end of the last movie, she remembered kissing him upside down. But okay, fine, she doesn't know that he's Spider-Man, and she starts dating this astronaut guy, actually J. Jonah Jameson's son, and she's gonna go marry this guy. But I kind of like the moments of her trying to talk to Peter, trying to kind of say, hey, I'm here, and any minute now you can come get me, because if you don't, then I'm just gonna go. I have this other guy, but I'm giving you all of these chances. It's an interesting thing to see her show love for him, care for him, but wanting to better herself and wanting to do what she has to do. James Franco, I really enjoy in the movie as well. I think this is the most I like James Franco out of the Spider-Man movies because he is becoming his own. Sure, there's a couple scenes where he's a little bit of a drunk, but he has taken over his father's company, and he's trying to keep his father's legacy. He's trying to make his father, the name of his father, proud, and he strikes a deal with with Dr. Octopus or Otto Octavius, and he's trying to do all this stuff, but he's also trying to catch Spider-Man, trying to figure out not only who he is, but he wants to kill him. He wants revenge because he thinks Spider-Man killed his father. And I love this because he's another character who's sure he's going down a dark path. He's clearly on the road to becoming a villain. Alfred Molina, let's talk about Dr. Octopus, because Alfred Molina is so good in this movie. And this is why I don't think any studio will touch Dr. Octopus, at least for a while. You can't reinterpret this character any better. I think there's so many layers to him. When you see him at the very beginning and he comes off as just a normal, likable guy, and he's married, he's just, he has this grand experiment that will change the world. He has good intentions, create the power of the sun, but so that we can use it like in small doses and actually be able to work with that technology. Of course, it goes haywire. He also built these 4 mechanical arms, and there's a chip with it. When that gets destroyed, when his wife dies, that's where everything goes to hell. And the scene, the hospital scene that Sam Raimi shoots, that is totally Evil Dead style. I almost still to this day when I watch it don't know how he got away with that scene being in a PG-13 Spider-Man movie, especially for at the time the way superhero movies were. It went for it. It just looks like Dr. Octopus. Sure, no blood, but he just rips into these doctors and kills every single one of them. And I love it. Rosemary Harris as Aunt May, I think, has some great scenes in this movie. I love the moment when Peter finally breaks down and tells her about what happened with Uncle Ben, that it was his fault, that he lied and went to another place, and the robber, he let him go, and that's how Ben got shot. And just, she doesn't even say anything. She just, her reaction, her eyes, her shock from hearing all of this and how many years it's been, and then her just leaving and going upstairs. That scene breaks my heart every time I see it. And then later on, when she forgives him, and it means so much to Peter, and then she gives him the speech, and you just sort of wonder whether she knows he's Spider-Man or not, because she's talking about what it means to be Spider-Man, what Spider-Man means to the kid, and it's everybody in the neighborhood. J.K. Simmons, once again, steals the show. You could tell that they loved him so much in the first movie that they wrote more scenes for him in this movie, and I love it. I can't get enough of this guy just going off. Some of the scenes that I love watching, some of the action scenes I love watching when I watch Spider-Man 2 is, for example, the train scene. That train scene where Spider-Man fights Dr. Octopus, and it's not only amazing to watch, it's breathtaking, it's so great, the choreography going on. Spider-Man, like when Doc Ock starts throwing people from the train, Spider-Man has to catch them and do all that stuff. When he kills the brakes and the train is going a million miles per hour, and Spider-Man is desperately trying to stop this train from going off the bridge, and he's webbing the buildings, and it's not working, and he loses his mask, and all of the New Yorkers see his identity, and their reaction of like, this is just a kid, this is like, he's no older than my son, or like, wow. And the kid saying, we'll keep your secret. I know some people complain about maybe Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi makes Spider-Man take his mask off too much in his movies. And sure, fine, I can understand that a little bit, but these moments are where it works. Mary Jane, the very, very end of the movie, I'm just going to get into spoilers, I don't really care. Mary Jane, when she finds out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, just the look on her face, the joy of just how much everything makes sense. And the shot of her running away from the wedding, and she shows up at his door in her wedding dress, and she chooses to be with him. I love that for an ending. It's the best ending that the movie could have had, especially with the sad ending of them in the first movie. But the shot of when Spider-Man swings out of the apartment, and it's the hero shot that's similar to the first movie, but you even have the helicopters behind him, and the Danny Elfman score is roaring, and then they cut back to Mary Jane, and she's looking out the window, and she has this look on her face like, yeah, I chose to be with him. I know what this is, but it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. And so guys, let me know in the comments below, not only what you think of Spider-Man 2, but is it also your favorite Spider-Man movie? Do you have another favorite Spider-Man movie? Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!